Hello everyone, welcome back to another series of podcast. I am Chandan Palwar from Junction. I welcome you all to a gonna be insightful product management focused podcast with a domain expert that is powered by Junction. Today we have a guest onboarded with us, Mr. Harshit Singh. He is currently serving as a product manager at Jio Platforms Limited. Apart from this, he's a marketer, writer, speaker, and an information geek. He has an expertise in multifunctional departments like from account management, enterprise sales, engineering design, program management, product marketing, and product management. He have excelled in each of the domains that I've already spoke. This experience has allowed him to approach problems with unique mix of engineering, design, product, and marketing and sales. He have completed his MBA from DMS IIT Delhi in 2020. So, I would really love to call Mr. Harshit Singh on the stage of honor.
Hi, Chandan. It's honestly, it's good to hear that I'm expert, but probably I'm not. Right. I have just started my career in 2020.
Okay.
Right. And it has been a good journey, and I'm definitely learning a lot. Right. But definitely at this point of time, calling myself an expert won't be the right thing to do.
Right.
You're right.
All right. So, we want to hear more about you, like the thing that I've not mentioned in your introduction, probably. So, what you want us to know about you?
Right. So I was born and brought up in Shahdol. Right. It's a really small town in Madhya Pradesh,
Okay.
and as like any science student, right, my parents told that you have to do engineering if you want to be successful in your life. Right. At that point of time, it seemed like the right choice to do. Right.
Yeah.
Probably when I look back, it was the right choice. Right.
Right.
So from I completed my education from here, and then I joined a college called SGSITS Indore, right?
Okay.
And then I did my engineering in electronics and instrumentation engineering, right?
Good.
And from the college itself, I got an offer to join Larsen & Toubro, right?
Okay.
So I joined Larsen & Toubro in 2015 and moved to Mumbai. It was a really good experience because throughout my life I have lived in small towns, right? And then I moved to Mumbai, and I was working with a team called EDRC, which is basically Engineering Design and Research Center for Larsen & Toubro. So we were providing engineering consultancy services to different teams, right, in Larsen & Toubro, and it was a really good time. I got to travel a lot, and then I was asked to move to Chennai. So I spent a couple of years there. Uh, in that particular 2 years, I have visited over 50 cities, right? And I was handling a lot of things. I have done operations, I have done on-site jobs, right? Mainly my work was to design automation systems,
Okay.
right? Which were basically used in different nuclear power plants across India, right? And then in 2018, somehow I decided that now I have to do MBA, right?
Okay.
There were many motivations, to be honest, right? Money was definitely one. There was other motivation as well, that I wanted to understand business in a much better way,
Okay.
right? So like any CAT aspirant, I also appeared for CAT, got a decent percentile, got admit to IIT Delhi, BMS, and joined that in 2018. Spent there 2 years. It was fun, right? Had really good time over there. And then again, in 2020, I haven't completed my education at that point of time. Then COVID happened, right? Came to home, I think in March 2020, and then got a job into real-time data services. So then I started working on there. It was a small firm. It was really good experience over there as well, right? From To be honest, in those 1.5 years which I have spent with RTDS, I learned a lot because it was a small company. There was no basically boundary that you have to do the certain things only, right? Whatever you are asked for, you have to do that. So I worked there. Then I got a better opportunity with Jio and joined Jio as a product manager. So currently I'm working as a product management manager in Jio, and we are building some B2B products, right? Which I don't want to talk about right now because it is kind of confidential as of now.
Right. We
Right.
understand.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for letting us know about your journey from passing out from your grad college, and then all of a sudden you get placed into L&T, and then all over you had so many experience, if not expertise. So you're having an experience in many domains and also in many cities. So you must be having so forth a macro viewpoint on the various domains and also the various cities. So you are having like biodiversity kind of a thing in in your experience. So that's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I think traveling a lot does help you all, right?
Right.
Because it gives you experiences which you are not aware about. In addition to that, it also opens up your thinking skills, I would say, right?
Right.
You
Right.
have a much more, I would say, you have much more acceptance towards new views, right?
Right.
So I think at that point of time, I was not enjoying it, to be honest, right? Because traveling every once in a while, right, does take a toll on your health and personal life as well. But definitely that just add up to your whole journey, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
yeah.
So like I think traveling is something that most of us is excited to. Like we used to, even I, if an
Mhm.
example in an interview, if an interviewer asks me what is your hobby, so I just try to mention or just to include or indulge traveling in my in during my interview, even though I don't travel much. So the
You shouldn't be doing it, right? If you interview to Geo, then it would be really, really a big problem. I can say that.
right, right. So it is just kind of a bucket list kind of a thing that we should have. Earlier I did hotel management prior to my MBA.
Mhm.
So I was fascinated about event management, just
Okay.
because of the thing that event management, once you get an event, so once you get the clients from different cities altogether, so
Mhm.
we'll be getting a chance to visit other cities, other religion, other culture. So I was fascinated about that idea too, but that didn't happen. So that made me, come to do an MBA from IIM Shillong.
Mhm.
So, like I think most of us aspires to travel, but couldn't have, an opportunity to travel. But you, in case you are having a good time in traveling, so forth, you must be learning a lot.
Yeah, I think right now it's really a good time to travel because all of us are working from home, right?
Right, right,
And if probably if I think if the fourth wave comes up, don't travel, guys. I'm not saying that, right? But if you get time, you can just explore your state, right?
okay,
Or take some time to travel to any
okay,
place which you want to, or you had a long list of things which you wanted to do, right? So I think it's a good time
right.
right now because you have that kind of uh, possibility right now that you can, without taking leaves, you can go anywhere and work
Right.
remotely, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it's like a like it's there is vacation type kind of
Vocation,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, vacation type kind
Yes.
of thing. So the thing
Correct.
is, you have mentioned that you have experience in so many domains and also have traveled few cities. So
Mhm.
the thing is, there must be some experiences that you believe must have happened in your past
Mhm.
life that have helped you attain your personality that we are looking at.
True.
So,
Mhm.
what kind of experiences you want to share with us that made you build your personality?
Right. So, to be honest, I would say, like to say this, that if you get an opportunity, right, just grab it. Okay. Sometimes what we think is that we will get a better opportunity after some time. That may happen, but that may not also happen. So when I joined my first company, right, I was just fresh out of college. So I was asked to basically coordinate a quality check, right?
Okay.
So quality check, it does seem a bit simpler when I say like that, that I was asked to coordinate. But what generally tends to happen is that you need to basically negotiate with the client and get that particular thing basically certified by him. Then only it could be accepted by the company, right?
Right.
So generally, a person who is in the system for like 5, 6 years, 7 years, right? He is asked to do that, and I was just fresh out of college, and uh, like some things happened. People were busy with their personal life, so there were no one to go for it, right? So my boss, at that point of time, he did not ask me, do you want to go? He said, you have to go, right?
Okay.
And uh, at that point of time, I was a bit scared, right? Because what it means is if things go wrong, it means that probably a product or any kind of machinery which is like 10 crore cost, right? It may get stuck, right?
Right.
So that was the first thing which I did. He said, okay, you go. And somehow I managed to do that. And I gained a lot of confidence from there, right?
Right.
And then it was from there, then he started giving me more responsibilities, right? I really loved working with him, if he's watching it, right? So it was a really good experience. So then he gave me more such responsibilities where he asked me to go to the client, right? Start meeting the clients, which is also generally not given to a person who has just joined the organization.
Right. Right.
Because you may say things which you are not supposed to say, right?
Right. Right.
So, but he said, okay, you will manage somehow. I believe in you. And then I started handling clients, go visit them, right? Every once in a while. Basically, I was managing all the clients which we had at that point of time.
Okay.
So that was a really good experience. Then when I joined my last company, which was real-time data services, right? So that experience was, as I would say, like it has basically added most of the value in my personality as of now. So my boss, who is the CEO of the company, he directly told me that, Harshit, we do not have a partner program right now. Okay. We have to start it. Okay. Plan it, execute it. Right.
Okay.
So I have just joined the organization, right? And luckily or unluckily, sir had a perception that I have done MBA, so I would be able to execute it, right? So I just went there, right? I asked a couple of people who were in the system what I need to do. They were also like, you have to do. We don't know how to do it, right? You can start doing benchmarking or whatever you want, but at this point of time, we don't have any research. So build over something, right? Start basically meeting people. And at that point of time, we also had COVID going on, right? So we were all working from home. So then again, we created a program, right? To validate that program, we started having meeting with different clients across the globe, right? Okay. And those were generally, I was the alone person going from my company, and then we had 3-4 people from the partner side, right? All right. So I did around close to over 200 meetings, right, in a span of 1 year. So there were days when I was doing 5-6 meetings in a day, right? So it gave me a lot of confidence, right? At that point, must have. Right. So, what generally tends to happen when you're working remotely and when your target market is, let's say, North America, right? And you are not very, I would say, closely connected with your clients or partners, you don't know what exactly is going on in the market, right? So when I started working on that, right? So I started getting a lot of insights, a lot of insider information, which you generally don't get while searching on Google or Bing, whatever, right? Okay. So that also gave us a lot of insight, right? Which we were able to basically build on, right? And in addition to that, at personal level, I also started to have a way with all the partners or clients, right? So then these things, I would say, when you get an opportunity, right? Right. So just grab onto it, right? Because I will give you an example. I think you might be able to relate to it, right? So you might have got a seat at IIM Shillong, right? Okay. You might think about it like, okay, I may get to IIM Ahmedabad next year, right? So let me just drop this plan. I will prepare for CAT again, right? But you don't know. COVID, second wave, third wave, fourth wave might happen, right? Yeah. So, I was about to mention this. Right. So the things as you have planned can go totally haywire, right? So I think it's better if you get any opportunity, just grab to it, right? And try to add as much value as you can to that, and you will definitely learn a lot through that journey. So, right, absolutely right. So the thing is, in your case,
the opportunities came forward to you and have been imposed by you from, imposed to you
Yeah.
from your managers or your boss. So
So
yeah.
I would just like to say these opportunities were given to other people as well, right?
Okay.
And they basically declined these opportunities. Good for me, anyways, right? So it came to me, right? But uh, I also have declined many such opportunities long back, right? Now when I look back, I feel कि I should have done this or that, right?
Okay.
Hindsight में सबको लगता है कि you can do whatever you want, right? But actually at this point of time, now I'm very clear कि अगर you are getting any opportunity, just grab to it. Don't say no to it.
Right. So you have already, very correctly framed that grabbing the opportunities is utmost important for all of us. It is like, I believe grabbing opportunities is somewhat, something sparkle, apart from the things that we plan usually.
True,
So,
true.
so it is something that just it's a God grace by the God itself, and came to us in a nicer way. So I think you are right. So what do you do in that case if you have two opportunities aligned with you? Like you have opportunity one, you have opportunity two. So what like do you use SWOT analysis kind of a thing to measure which opportunity to grab at a time?
I think you have taken too much strategic electives, right? I generally do not tend to do that, right? What I do tend to do is I take, like I would like to go for an opportunity which makes me more uncomfortable, right?
Right.
Right. So, because, for example, I'm very good in market. I won't say I'm very good in marketing exactly, right? But I know a lot of things, right?
Right.
So if anything comes up, my first view would be always marketing or operation based, right? So I think having a different perspective also comes up from these kind of opportunities, right? Which make you uncomfortable. So I think probably I would go for that.
Right.
There is no right or wrong answer, right?
All right.
Okay. It is at the end of the day, it is what you want to do with your life. Probably if you go
It's
for
a
some opportunity.
substantial kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you go for some opportunity which basically helps you out, right? Which is in your domain. So you will build some experience on that. There is no doubt about it. So you can go either way. But what I tend to do is I will go for a position where I will feel a bit uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, right. So the thing is coming forward with like you are having a multifunctional experience, multifunctional department experience. So what do we think? Like how come you have an experience in so many domains? Do we believe that you're an explorer in life and so in career as well? Or were you not sure about your domain earlier, so had an experience in all and so forth? Now you are settled at product management.
Okay, it was a pretty long question, by the way. So it's honestly, it's not like that, right?
Okay.
There are people who have very much clarity about their life, right? Who know in 12th ki abhi I have to do IIT, uske baad I will do MBA, then I will join an investment firm, right? And then I will leave the country, right? And do another MBA from Harvard or whatever, right? So
Right.
there are people like that, and I respect those people, right? There is no doubt about it. For me, it was more like I was definitely exploring, right? And I was also going with the flow, right? So at that particular point of time, I thought this is the better option for me, right?
Okay.
And basis that at that point of time, I went from one department to another, then from there to some other place. And a lot of things basically came in my last job, right? Which was more of a startup kind of setup, right? The company is pretty old. They have a good revenue, right? Which they are making every year. It is a bootstrap company.
Okay.
But in a start, like if you want to do something, people are not going to stop you, right?
All right.
Especially in companies like this, which are in much more growth stage, right? So if you want to do that in something like Larsen and Toubro, right? It is possible. I am not saying it's not possible, but it might be a bit difficult, right? But if you are working with a company like smaller companies, right, which are probably 100 or 200, 300, 400 people, right?
Okay.
And there, if you want to do something and you have some good plan, I can do that, I can execute it, and the investment is not a very huge amount, right? Probably they are not going to say no to you, right? So there were things which I basically picked up as I was going, like through my journey. And in addition to that, I also have a habit of reading a lot of ebooks, right?
All right.
So it was just
Books. What kind of
so yeah. So I basically read more about. There are different kind of concepts when you talk about marketing and sales, right?
right?
Okay. Uh, while overall understanding we get it in B schools, but there are many such things which I was honestly not aware about, right? So when I joined my first company after MBA, right, at that point of time, slowly I started understanding what exactly is going on, right, in the whole ecosystem, right?
Okay.
Whatever competitors are doing, right, where does it come from, right? What is the logic behind it? A simple thing like referral marketing seems very simple, right? But when you are about to execute it, there are thousands of things, right, which go into it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. And even SEO, right? SEO, for example, or growth marketing, for example, product marketing, right? CRO, right? Things like these. While from the overall perspective, they seem very simple, right? But when you start drilling down to they are pretty complicated, right? So what I thought in, I think probably around August 2018, that I will read one book every week, right? I started with that, okay. And then don't want to name some websites where you can get all ebooks for free, right? Everyone knows that. Okay. So I downloaded created some sort of keywords that I would like to focus on these things, right?
Okay.
I think there is a very good article which is basically how to become a T-shaped marketer, right? If you will Google it, you will get that article.
All right.
So in that article, they have basically explained like what are different segments which you should focus on, right? If you want to become a good marketer, right?
Okay.
So then I created a list of things which I thought I would read over time, right? And then, from there I started. So I started reading a lot, and as I got that kind of knowledge, I went to my boss. I explained him, "Okay, sir, I wanted to do this, right? This might work for us." And the good part was he was always like, "Okay, if you feel right, you can execute, do it."
Right.
So that helped a lot. And then I also, as I mentioned, I have worked in my last company. I also was a sales manager, right? So once you are a sales manager, you get a lot of skills from there. So everything added up. So yeah, I think probably I was in the right place at the right situation, right? It is not that I always decided that everything will happen and then I will add that skill to my LinkedIn profile. That was not the case, right? Okay. It was just that because I was at the right place at the right time, and then the opportunities came in, and I said yes to them. So that is the thing.
So it's like you have no regrets completely in your past. So you are like you have completed all the tasks, all the domains you have covered, all the companies you have been through, all the cities you have. So all the experience counts to the the present position that you are currently in. So
true.
Right. So that's really great. Like the self-sufficiency is something that lacks in most of us, and you are having the self-sufficiency. That is, I think, the seventh wonder of the world.
No, don't. That's not the case, actually,
Okay.
right? Honestly, when I say I was at the right position at the right time, right? That basically comes from the fact that always I have been part of such teams where there was lack of human resource, right?
Okay.
Right now, that's not the case, but in the earlier uh, organization which I have worked in, right? So when you are in that kind of position, right? So there is a lot to do most of the times, right? Okay, and then as I mentioned, I did my engineering in electronics and instrumentation, right?
Yeah.
So that is not very, I would say, common domain which people engineer in, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so when I went to Larsen and Toubro, right, at that point of time, many procurement guy did not had any kind of understanding what product we are buying, right? So they will just give some work to me, right?
Okay.
Okay. So because I was in that kind of situation, there was where there was a lack of human resource, right? So I got these kind of opportunities, and I think everyone can get it if they are willing enough. Ki, हाँ, I want to do it, right? Or might be if you have a good boss who is like, ki karna hi padega, right? That also works out, right?
Right.
So these are the things which really helped me, right? And obviously, you are saying that when you look back, obviously you will have some regrets कि ये नहीं ये करना था, right? है ना, इस कॉलेज में नहीं इस कॉलेज में जाना था, ये जॉब नहीं ये जॉब लेनी थी, right? And especially when you had options, right?
Right.
But you never know, right?
Right.
अभी तो वापस, if you look back, you will always say कि जो है, yeah, things would have been very different, but yeah. So
like that's great. So the thing is, another thing that I'm confused. Like, so you did your BTech in electrical, and then so forth. You went to L&T and were in that organization altogether and were dealing with the products. So what made you join? Like we understand that you joined MBA to understand management, about management, how to market.
That was one of the reasons, not exactly, yeah.
Right. And also must be, climbing the career ladder could be another reason.
True.
So the thing is, what made you, transit from MBA in marketing to a product management line?
Okay. So honestly, it is related, right? Okay.
All right.
You cannot say that marketing. I think having a background in engineering plus MBA in marketing would really help you, right?
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you have to build a product. You need to understand your customers, right?
All right.
You need to know like how would you target them, how would you make that product successful, right? That is definitely one of the things which I would like to say, right? For me, it was more like I felt there is a lot of opportunity when it comes to product management, right? Okay. Even I do like sales, right? I won't say that I don't like it, right? Okay. But it is not one of the things which basically I would say interest me like compared to product management, right? Where you are building a new product from zero, right? And making it successful to market. That gives me much more satisfaction, right? Yeah. Compared to a sales role where you are basically trying to sell a product, right? So that is definitely one of the reasons. And when I was in L&T also, right? So we were building big, heavy civil projects, right?
Right.
Okay. So once a project is complete and you look back, right? Okay, I cannot actually name the project, right? But there are few projects which are like at global stage are very huge, right?
Right.
And I see those projects, it comes in newspaper, social media. We have started basically producing energy or whatever, right? I was in nuclear field anyways. So when I look back, I feel really satisfied. I also contributed to that, right? So I think somehow that thing always stayed in me, right? So product management, I always thought I can get that satisfaction of building something and making it successful, right? So that is the reason. Yeah, but I do like sales as well, sales and marketing. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
So like I'm sure that your experience in your studies, your education background that is in BTech helps in the product management definitely. So the product management, I think the standard roles and responsibility for a product management varies to different scalability from the product production to the product marketing. So it has been all covered in the single product management domain. So I'm sure it must be so much, both the domains like your BTech and your MBA must be your strengths in this product domain.
I think probably BTech is not mandatory, right? Even an MBA is not mandatory, to be honest. Right? At this point of time, in India, definitely, because companies do tend to go with different tax, right? MBA, IIM, IIT, right? So in India, it does matter a bit, right? I would be really honest about it. Even though many startup founders will come to LinkedIn, they will say it doesn't matter. But when they will recruit, probably they will ask for MBA from tier 1 college or something like that, right?
Right.
But if you see, if you go to other Western countries, right, you will find people coming from very different kind of backgrounds to product management. In fact, I was talking to one of uh, I don't want to. I should name her. Yeah. Anyways, because it's a public platform, so I should name her. But yeah, so there is a lady, right? She is working in US, right? So she was actually head of product
Okay.
in one of like really growing SaaS product over there, right? So I was having a meeting with her, and we were having this discussion. So I asked her, like, how did you came to this? Like, what is your journey, right? Where did you start it? So it was pretty interesting. She started as basically she was working at some pet care shop, right?
Okay.
Okay, as an accountant, right? From there, she moved to be a librarian, right?
All right.
And then at one point of time she decided कि नहीं अभी तो I want to be in product है ना ये SaaS में कुछ हो रहा है I don't know what exactly it is but SaaS is growing she heard that from someone IT में बहुत boom है SaaS is growing so I want to go in that right she interned with a company right I think as a product analyst as far as I remember right and then she started working with a couple of SaaS firms smaller SaaS firms which were making very, I would say, niche products, right?
Okay.
And from there, she got an offer to a really large product company, right? Which is making a very successful SaaS product. So that's the case in Western, I would say, US, Europe, right? Even in Taiwan, I have a couple of people I know who have like totally moved from one domain to another, right? And came to product. So honestly, it doesn't matter to have that kind of degree. In India, the thing is, if you want to do a job, right, it might be a bit difficult to land into a really good company. What you can probably do is you can move to a startup, right? I think, and then they will give you a chance, right? If you are not, I won't say they don't pay well, right? But if you are willing to sacrifice on few things, right? You will get a job in some startup, learn from there, and then move, right? So I'm not saying MBA and engineering is mandatory, but it does help because once you have technical sort of thinking, right, then things do fall at places when you first read it. So yeah.
Right. So it is basically something that you need to strategize your next move. So if like it is mandatory, the BTech is not mandatory, even the masters in business administration is not mandatory for all of us. So the thing is, you just need to strategize your upcoming company to get into the role. So first get yourself placed in a role, no matter what the company is. Company may be a startup, company may be a $1 billion company. It doesn't matter. The thing matters is that you are placed in that role. So next forward, you can just go.
Yeah, and but to get into that role, you also need to have some kind of skill,
right.
So you have to learn a lot, right? Definitely, when you start out, people do not expect you to know how exactly it is done, right?
Okay.
But they do want you to be a bit of intellectually curious, right?
All right.
Okay. So and in addition to that, I think there are some very simple courses which you can get on Udemy or something, so that at least you have an idea, right?
Right.
Tomorrow you don't go. If you go to a job and then you are like, कि भाई पता नहीं मेरे को कि क्या करना है अभी इधर आके, right? So that shouldn't be the case. So do some kind of probably Udemy courses, or you can find there are many internships which are going on, right? Where you can have 2 months or 3 months of internship in product domain, right? So basically what they will do, they will get their work done from you for free, right? But you will learn a lot. There is no doubt about it.
All right. So this was about the courses that you have already suggested to, like, for a person to like pursue some of the courses from Udemy or Coursera. So the thing is, what could be the potential skills that a product management interested candidate must possess in him or her?
Okay, so at this point of time, I haven't recruited any product manager. I did recruited a lot of salespersons, right? So I might be wrong, right? But what I believe, I can tell you that, right?
All right.
Okay. So first thing definitely is that you need to be a problem solver, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now Yeah.
That is true.
Right. In any MBA job, anyways, you have to be a
Yeah.
problem solver, right?
Be it any
Okay.
domain.
And if you are not, then probably if next wave will come, you will lose your job. So don't do that. Right. Start. So that is one thing, right? And when you want to solve problems, you do need to know a lot of concepts, right? Okay. Abhi, for example, I want to launch a product. Okay.
Right.
So I should know what is SEO, right? I should know what is product listing. I should know key what are the concept, what is traffic volume, right? Okay. If I want to basically, I should know how to basically get a press release done, right? So these are smaller concepts, right? You don't need to exactly know how to do it, but you should know what is
Have
the
an
concept
idea.
behind it, right? And if someone asks you to do it, कि भाई अब करना है, तो you have to be able to do it, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, it just takes a couple of, I would say, a couple of hours to learn any new skill, right? So you shouldn't be going very deep in that, right? But you should have overall understanding ki if I want to do this, right? If I want to basically make my product live, okay. So what are the different, I would say, channels I should focus on, right?
Okay.
And on channels, what are the different parameters I have to look after, right?
Right.
So this comes from learning, like reading a lot, right? Doing multiple courses, right? So as I mentioned, you can learn a lot. You can just, even if you will search SaaS marketing or whatever marketing you want to do, product marketing book, right? There will be a number of books, right? You can just start one, right? Read it from, like finish it up, right? Then you will have a list of things which you would like to learn more about, right? Then move to them, learn them, right? And probably there are some really good websites which provides really quality courses, right? I would like to mention one. It's called CXL, right?
Okay.
When I was in MBA, I didn't know about it, right? Now I know about it. That's why I'm mentioning it. Okay. So if you can just have a look on that, right?
Okay.
Especially people who are interested in marketing.
From which platform do
it is the website? You can search CXL Academy, right? Right. So it is one of the best course out there for, especially for people who are into marketing, right? Product marketing, growth marketing, and all, right? So they can definitely refer to it, right? So once you start reading all this, doing a number of courses, right?
Right.
Over time, definitely you will have some kind of understanding that how you can solve your problems, right? So that is one thing.
I think that's such a modesty of yours. You're just suggesting the courses without, sending the referral codes to us.
No. Can I do that?
It's your case.
Anyway, so the thing is, do these kind of courses, right? Because definitely you will come to know about it once you are passed out from college, right? Many people might be knowing it right now also. I'm not saying no one knows about it, right? But I would say skill-based courses, right? There are very few, right? Spend some time on focusing on what you want to do in future, and then just search for what are the top courses with people who are in the industry, right? Especially when we talk about North America are doing, right? So from there you can get a lot of insight of what you can learn next, right? So that is the thing. And once you are done with that, definitely you need to implement that in your problem solving skills. Right?
Get it. So I'm sure about it. So you have covered about the behavioral skills aspects that one should possess. So let's talk about some technical skills. So what exactly, the technical skills you want to suggest to the students or to the people who are currently watching this video, like that must be used in the current domain. So what technology and tools do you find are necessary to be successful in your role?
Okay, so probably people should know a bit about the Scrum, right? Agile framework, right? Okay. It is, I think, probably, I would say it is mandatory right now, okay? For everyone. There is no doubt about it.
Agile framework,
right? So just learn about it. I think there is a certification which takes 2 days, which you can do on weekend. I haven't done it right now, okay? So I also have to get that certification done, right? But you can get that certification done, right? So definitely do that. That is one thing, right? I have a bit of understanding of UI, and user interface design, right?
Right.
Probably I can do I personally am comfortable with Photoshop, Illustrator, right?
All right.
XD, right? But I would say even if you do any kind of, there are a number of different softwares out there, right? Which can help you do wireframing, right?
Okay.
So definitely learn that. Figma is one, right?
Okay.
Adobe XD is there, right? So just learn that, right?
Right.
A bit of coding background does help. I don't have that, right? It does help a bit, right? It is not mandatory, right?
Mandatory.
Right. But you do need to understand what exactly is how does a software development is done, right? And what is front end, what is back end, right?
All right.
How you can pull data. A bit of analytics does help, right? So it could be probably Tableau or Python, whichever you want. Probably R and Python are very much, I think, into analytics, right? If you want, you can definitely learn that. It's good, right? But
Right.
even if you know Tableau, Excel, right? Or I think even there is another thing called Google Studio, right?
Right.
So even if you are able to do that, it is things are manageable at least, right? You have understanding what exactly is going on. How can I do like solve this particular problem, right?
All
So
right.
I think so that's it. I think apart from that, you will learn everything once you are in the system, right? Anywhere you go, right?
I'm It's like I'm not sure about the others, but I'm sure about me that I'm just noting all the names, all the all the technical skill sets that you're recommending right now. So I'm sure this the sessions, this particular session is definitely gonna be benefited to all the viewers who are currently watching this video. So for a while, I would suggest the viewers, if they are liking this particular video and finding this video a little bit insightful, just hit on the like button, and also share with your friends, your batchmates, your seniors, or your colleagues, any person. So yeah.
So, in addition to that, I would like to say this also, that there are some really good blogs, right, written by people who are in the industry for a
Oh,
long time, right? So search for them. You can definitely get it, right? Be active on websites like Product Hunt, right? What exactly is going on in the industry? So you can see. So Product Hunt, I hope you know about it. If you don't,
yes.
just go to that. It is a listing website where you can list your products, right? And all the product managers are over there, so you can have a discussion with them what exactly you think. You can take ideas from them, right?
Yes.
So be active on that. There are some really good Facebook groups, right?
Okay.
Probably
Yes.
I will share the links on my LinkedIn if anyone wants to look at it.
Yeah,
So there
definitely.
are some really good Facebook groups. Like there are people like 85,000 people who are discussing on product management. They are sharing their products. They're asking about some particular skill, right? Or some particular suggestion from people, right? So
All right.
even if you just go to those groups and go through different posts, you will learn a lot. In
Right.
fact, what I believe is even if you join that group and you go through all the posts, right, out there, so you will learn everything in product management, right? So if you are interested in product management, definitely look out for these kind of things. It will be really
Right.
helpful. Follow people on LinkedIn, right? In India, we tend to share a lot of irrelevant things. I shouldn't be saying that, right? But that do happen. People are sharing about what exactly is going on, right, in India, political stuff and everything. It's better to follow people who are adding value, right? So there are people, really good people who discuss about growth marketing, who discuss about product management, right? There
Okay.
are some Twitter users, right? If you search Twitter product management, okay, top authors or something, you will get a number of people who are writing really good stuff on product management, product marketing, right? So just read that. I think that would be enough. Probably when you are appearing for interview, right? It won't help, to be honest, right? Because companies do understand that you are just fresh out of college, right? So you might not be knowing about it, but having just an understanding would be really helpful once you join a job, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure about it that reading must, must benefit all of us. So, like for me, reading is something that I always plan out my day. That definitely this weekend I'll be gonna read few of the novels, a few of the books. But I'm sure, like, people, have the tendency to prioritize things apart from the books. Like I am one of them. So the thing is,
No, even I don't read a lot of books, to be honest, right?
oh,
Apart from ebooks, as I mentioned, right?
yeah,
So as I mentioned, I think I did not completed that story. So I did take it as a challenge, right?
yeah,
That I will do it. Okay, I
that
will
is,
do it for these many days, right?
yeah,
And I would say I learned a lot, right? Definitely, application is another part of it, right? But you will at least know different kind of, I would say, concepts, right? How you can basically think in a different manner altogether, right?
right,
Which is very important, right? Probably reading is a good habit. I'm not saying that, but also look, if you are really focused at this point of time, also look at what you are reading, right?
right.
Okay, if you are spending a lot of time on reading, I'm not saying it is bad, and don't don't attack me. Okay, I'm saying reading is bad. That's not the case. What I'm trying to say is, if you have like 6 months and you want to basically learn product management or marketing or sales, whatever, right? So then, and then if you have a job, right, or even if you're MBA student, you have very less time to basically focus on these kind of things, right?
Right.
So I spend that couple of hours, right, on things which will actually help you learn a little bit
Right.
more. At this point of time, definitely uske baad, whatever you want to do, you can do. I'm not saying that reading is bad at all.
That's yeah, that's well said. So, like moving forward, coming to your work, what exactly are the inputs do you use to build your product management roadmap? So, I'm sure that you are into product marketing and you must be having, SOPs kind of things, or a
Mhm.
strategical roadmap how to build that. So, what exactly is your opinion in that?
Okay, so again, it depends, right?
Okay.
Okay, saying that there is for a very mature organization, that might be the case, right? Okay, uh, I will mostly talk about on a generic manner. I don't want to talk more about due to obvious reasons, right?
Right.
Things are confidential, right? But it totally depends on what you're building, right? And how you want to build it, right? Because it is not like that there are only a couple of factors. There are a number of factors which you have to look at, right? But what my suggestion is to understand the market first, right? What exactly you're building, what your competitors are doing, right?
Okay.
And how you will differentiate with that. Okay, so having that objective set, right, is the most important part of it. Once that is set, then definitely you do the obvious things like benchmarking, right? Then you need to have. So I think if you have gone through, there is a pyramid called B2B pyramid of needs, right?
Right.
Anyone listening to it, just go and check it out. I think you will find it in HBR probably. Okay. So the differentiation comes at the top of the pyramid, right? Which could be individual needs, right? Okay, which could be more like what is there in for me, right?
Okay.
Especially even for B2B products, it was not earlier we were more focused on providing value, right? But now the differentiation is mostly coming from basically targeting these kind of needs which were not looked into earlier, right? So how you will differentiate your product, right?
Right.
Once you are able to sort that out, right, then do the benchmarking, create different, then prioritize like anyone do, right? You can just search it or do some course, you will know what I am talking about,
Right.
right? But I think having that objective set is much more important than things coming after that, right? And once that is done, you can just create your roadmap, product roadmap, and then move from there, right?
All right.
And then there are also factors like what exactly, how is your team, right? How they will be able to help you, what are the skill sets, right? Because tomorrow I can definitely come to couple of people and say कि भाई आज तो मेरे को teams बनाना है, Microsoft Teams, right? But do they also have that kind of skill, right? Either they have to learn, right? So what is important for you? Is going to market is much more important for you, or that particular feature is much more important to you? So these are the factors which you have to look into, right? And then come up with a product proposal.
Right.
For more matured organization like Jio, it is pretty much sorted, right? They have a way to do things, right? And yeah, they will tell you when you join them. I don't want to talk about it, right? But that's how it is. Yeah.
I'm sure it must be, a decent explanation by you in that case, because we just asked about a roadmap. So there was always a, there was always a confusion in my mind itself that what exactly a product management person or a person who is associated in with the domain seek forward in what manner. So you have already explained in a real, good manner. So coming forward with one of the, craziest question, I'm sure about it, that each of us, while we all are successful in our lives, I'm not stating about me, I'm just quoting you in reference.
No, you can join me as well with you, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we all like are in good times, and also the thing is, there must be failures associated to all of us in our lives. So what could be your biggest failure in life, and what exactly, what learnings did you approach from that particular failure?
Right. So I won't say it's like it is the biggest failure of my life, right? Because then it seems like very huge, right? Which had a huge impact on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that didn't happen, right? But as I mentioned earlier, right, when I have always been focused on taking up opportunities, right? And
Right.
when you are too excited, sometimes you do commit mistakes, right?
Right.
So yeah, so I've been I I'm thinking I should.
Come on, you can say.
No. There are other problems as well, right? Anyway, so I was working with an organization, right?
Okay.
They did give me some work. I was interning exactly, right?
All right.
Okay, so they did gave me some work to be done, right? I did it as per my best of my knowledge, to be honest, right?
All right.
Okay, but I think the output which came out, right, I was also not satisfied with it, and person I was reporting to, he was also not satisfied with it, right?
All right.
And it was because if you have been in a position where you think everything you take in hand, it will be successful, right?
Right.
So the first time you get in that kind of situation where people are not happy with you and you are also not happy with you, so it does basically affect you a lot, right?
Right.
But that made me also that made me learn that whenever you are working, right, it's very important to be very clear about what exactly you have to do, right? What exactly is the objective of it in a very objective manner, right? So, for example, I can say ki you have to do this podcast, right? Okay.
Right.
And if I don't tell you ki what you have to discuss, right?
Yeah.
And then I have a perception ki tu samajh gaya, right? You have that understanding, you will come up with some output, right? So it might not match, right?
Right. The expectations and
yeah,
performance. Right.
exactly. So I think that is something which I learned, right? In a really good manner, anyways, right? And from there, I made sure that whenever I start working on something, first I open Excel, I ask ki what needs to be done, ye batao pehle. And then we will start working on it. And somehow I think feedbacks are really important, right? Okay, and once you have this objective thing set in, right, then even giving feedbacks become really easy, right? Then I can say कि इस podcast में ये बात करनी थी तूने ये बात क्यों की, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm wondering right now, sitting on the chair, that Harshit sir was asking me about the details of the podcast, what gonna be happen in the podcast. So that's what made you do that. That's really a great learning, because we all do have failures in our lives, but we do not know exactly how to implement what strategies to make corrections in our lives, so that such failures don't repeat in our lives.
True. And I think definitely once you join any kind of corporate, right, even you will join, right,
Right.
in I think 1 year times or whatever, right, Okay, once you get placed and you join a corporate. So just make sure that you get things very in a very objective manner, right? Okay, even if it is subjective, you should have a consent that this is what is the output, right? This is what is expected from me, and I have to perform on this, right? Generally, what tends to happen is sometimes people are busy, right? Okay, something which might seem very simple or frugal to me, right, might not be the case with you, right?
You're right.
Okay, so that becomes a problem, and just make sure, even if you're interning, if you want to get a PPO, right, just make sure that you get things on a very objective scale, right?
All right.
These are the output, and then perform on those outputs, right? Just
Right.
yeah. So,
Right. So I'm sure about it. The people who are currently watching this video must be benefited in different aspects of their personalities. And coming forward, I'm sure about it that I can talk in this particular podcast for as long as a day is. So not forgetting the fact that Harshit sir have already asked me not to exceed the particular podcast for from an hour. So yeah, keeping that in mind, so I would like to thank you, sir, for getting on board with us and let us know about the insights of this product management domain that will definitely gonna be impacted in all of our lives. Like even for me, in my case, I'm not sure about marketing as in career. So still there is a scope whether I might go to product management domain or product marketing domain. So thank you so much, sir. Hats off.
thank you, Chandan. It was really nice talking to you.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Let's
Okay.
call it a day.